How much of your life belongs to other people's opinions? The clothes you wear, the career you choose, the things you say, the things you hide, the goals you pursue, even the version of yourself you present to the world. We live in a hall of mirrors, constantly adjusting our image. Most people say, "I don't care what others think." But then one criticism ruins their entire day. One rejection changes their self-image. One disapproving look makes them question a decision they spent months considering. Why do we grant strangers the authority to decide our worth? What if freedom requires something uncomfortable, not being loved by everyone, not being understood by everyone, and perhaps having the courage to disappoint some people? This is the provocative argument at the center of The Courage to be Disliked. But the book's message is deeper than simply ignoring criticism. It asks, can you live according to your own responsibilities without making other people's approval the price of your freedom? Let's dive deep into Adlerian psychology and the path to true liberation. Unlike many personal development books, The Courage to be Disliked unfolds largely as a dialogue. A young man challenges a philosopher. The philosopher responds. The young man disagrees. They argue, question, reconsider, a search for fundamental truth. Through this conversation, authors Ichiro Kishimi and Fumitake Koga introduce ideas associated with the psychologist Alfred Adler, a contemporary of Freud and Jung who placed emphasis on social relationships, purpose, and radical individual responsibility. Adler's individual psychology isn't just theory, it's a blueprint for living. He believed that the past does not define us, our interpretation of it does. This is radical agency in a world of causes. While Freud looked at causes in the past, etiology, Adler looked at goals in the present, teleology. This shift is the foundation of the book's message, that our past does not dictate our future unless we allow it to. We are not results. We are creators. Teleology asks, for what purpose? When we act, we are moving toward a goal. Even our most self-sabotaging behaviors have a purpose, often hidden from our conscious mind. Identifying that purpose is the key to unlocking change. If we are goal-oriented, we are creators. If we are cause-oriented, we are victims. Adler invites us to step out of the victim role and take the pen. To write a story based on where we want to go, not where we've been. This is the first courage. One of the book's most controversial ideas concerns the past. Many people explain current behavior through previous experience. I can't trust because I was betrayed. I can't change because this is how I was raised. This is the trap of determinism. The book challenges strict psychological determinism. Past experiences matter, sometimes enormously, but they do not necessarily dictate every future action. Two people can experience similar events and construct very different lives. The difference lies in interpretation. This does not mean trauma is imaginary or easily ignored. It means that your history influences you, but it does not have to become the only author of your future. You are responsible for the meaning you give to your past experiences. You are the author. Adler argued that we are not defined by our experiences, but by the meaning we give them. By changing our interpretation, we change our orientation toward the future. This is not about denial. It's about reclaiming your power. If the past determines the present, we are trapped. If our interpretation of the past determines the present, we are free. We can always choose a new interpretation. We can always decide that our past is a lesson, not a life sentence. The power is yours. Adlerian psychology often asks, what purpose is this behavior serving now? This perspective shifts attention from origin toward function. Every problem we have is often a solution to a different, deeper problem we are avoiding. It's a strategic move. Imagine someone who avoids speaking in meetings. The cause might be past embarrassment. But another useful question is, what does avoiding the meeting accomplish today? Perhaps it protects them from the possibility of criticism, failure, and the judgment of others. The behavior creates safety, but it also creates limitation. By recognizing the goal of the behavior, safety at all costs, we can decide if the price of that safety is too high. We reclaim our agency by understanding our secret intentions and choosing growth. Most of our symptoms are tools we use to achieve a certain goal, often safety or the avoidance of pain. When we identify the goal, we can choose a different, more courageous path toward growth. We stop asking why and start asking for what? We become designers. Change is not a matter of ability, it's a matter of courage. The courage to let go of the safety of our old goals and embrace the uncertainty of new ones. It is the courage to be happy despite the risks. The book makes a provocative claim. Many human problems are fundamentally interpersonal. Comparison, jealousy, inferiority, status, competition, approval, rejection. Even our sense of inadequacy emerges relative to others in our social world. We are never alone in our pain. We don't merely think, I earn this amount. We think, I earn less than them. The social world becomes a permanent scoreboard, and when life becomes competition, other people's achievements begin feeling like our defeats. Adler believed that the feeling of inferiority is a universal human experience. It's not necessarily bad, it can motivate us to improve, but it becomes toxic when we use it as an inferiority complex, an excuse to stop trying altogether and hide from the world. If we view life as a race, we are constantly looking at our rank. But if we view others as comrades, their success is not a threat to our worth. The objective is horizontal relationships based on equality, not vertical ones based on rank, power, and comparison. Vertical relationships involve praising or rebuking, which both imply a hierarchy. Horizontal relationships involve encouragement and gratitude. They acknowledge that we are different but equal in our human value and dignity. They are the foundation of true peace. To move from a vertical to a horizontal worldview is to stop competing and start collaborating. It is the end of the hunger for superiority and the beginning of true connection. Other people stop being enemies and become partners in the journey of life. This is perhaps the book's most practically useful idea, the separation of tasks. Before becoming consumed by a problem, ask, whose task is this? Is it mine or is it theirs? Most of our stress comes from intervening in others' tasks or letting them intervene in ours. Imagine you make a career decision. Your task is to make the decision and accept its consequences. Your parents' reaction? That belongs to them. You can listen with respect, but you cannot control their final judgment. Or imagine you help someone. Whether they appreciate you is their task. Your behavior is yours. Their opinion is theirs. Separating these tasks is the only way to find peace in a world of conflicting expectations. When you try to take on someone else's task, you become a slave to their expectations. When you let them take on yours, you lose your agency. Clarity comes from knowing exactly where your responsibility ends. You are only responsible for your own path. Other people are responsible for theirs. By respecting this separation, you grant them freedom and claim your own. You stop trying to manipulate how the world sees you. You just live. You become a sovereign individual. Separation of tasks can easily be misunderstood. It does not mean, I don't care about anyone. It does not mean abandoning responsibility, and it certainly does not justify cruelty toward others. Healthy boundaries recognize two truths simultaneously. Other people matter, and you cannot live their lives for them. You can support someone without controlling them. You can love someone without owning their decisions. Adler called this social interest, the feeling of belonging to a community and the desire to contribute. True freedom is not isolation. It's the ability to contribute to the whole while maintaining your own autonomy. When we contribute to others because we want to, not because we must to get approval, our contribution is sincere. It's the difference between a transaction and a gift. It's the foundation of a truly free community. We give from a place of abundance and choice. Imagine trying to make everyone like you. One group wants you ambitious, another wants you modest, one person wants you outspoken, another prefers you quiet. To satisfy everyone, you'd need to become a different person in every room. Eventually, you might no longer know which version is yours. The courage to be disliked does not mean deliberately becoming unlikable. It means accepting that living according to your principles may produce disapproval. Disapproval is often the evidence that you are living your own life. It is the friction of freedom. If you never face disapproval, you are likely just mirroring the expectations of others. Finding your own voice requires the courage to be different and to stand in your truth. When you stop chasing the shadow of approval, you find your own light. You realize that your value doesn't change based on the opinion of a stranger or a friend. You are the only one who can truly validate your existence. Freedom sounds attractive until we understand its cost. If you make your own decisions, you also inherit their consequences. You can no longer blame everyone else for the life you repeatedly choose. That is why freedom can feel frightening. Approval provides instructions. Society tells you what to value. Family tells you what path to follow. Freedom removes some of those instructions. Then asks, what do you actually choose? It requires radical self-reliance. Most people flee from freedom because they flee from responsibility. They would rather have a master they can blame than a mirror they must face. But the mirror is where the power lies. To choose is to live. Adlerian psychology is a psychology of the creator, not the victim. It demands that we take ownership of our response to every situation. We cannot control the cards we are dealt, but we control how we play them. Feeling inferior is not always destructive. Recognizing that someone has greater skill can motivate learning. The problem begins when they are better at this becomes, therefore, I am worth less. Identity and performance are separate. Ability and human worth are not the same measurement. Someone can be wealthier than you, more attractive, or more experienced. None of those facts establish a hierarchy of human value. Comparison is a trap for the ego. Differentiation is not rank. Each person has a unique combination of experiences and talents. To compare your middle to someone else's end is a recipe for misery. Focus on your own growth, your own bloom. Social media has weaponized comparison. It encourages us to perform for approval rather than grow for ourselves. Reject the scoreboard. Your value is intrinsic, absolute, and independent of your likes or your status in the eyes of others. You are enough as you are. If everyone is a competitor, someone else's progress becomes threatening. But what if life isn't a single race? What if people are moving toward different responsibilities, under different circumstances? Then others become comrades. You can learn without competing, admire without envying, grow without needing someone else to lose. Your only true competition is the version of yourself you were yesterday. This shift changes everything. When we stop looking up or down at others, we start looking next to them. We build horizontal relationships based on mutual respect and shared humanity. This is the only way to escape the cycle of jealousy and pride. Wholeness comes from self-acceptance. Accepting that you are good enough exactly as you are removes the need to prove your worth by defeating others. You become free to simply be and to contribute. Adlerian thought moves from independence to connection. The goal is to belong without losing yourself. To be a part of the whole while remaining autonomous. Contribution creates meaning that recognition never can. The question changes from, how important am I, to, how can I be useful? That shift can reduce the endless hunger for recognition. Contribution is the highest expression of our social nature. Sincere giving requires no audience. If you need people to see you helping, you're not helping, you're managing your image. True contribution is a task you do for its own sake, for the benefit of the community. You are one piece in a vast mosaic. Your value is not in being the largest piece, but in being the most authentic one. By finding where you fit, you find your purpose and your place in the world. Anxiety lives in the future or the past. Adler encourages us to live in the here and now, to focus on the task immediately in front of us with full attention. Not because the future doesn't matter, but because it's built now. Life is like a series of dots. We focus on the line, but the line is just the result of where we put the dots. Focus on the dot you are making right now. You cannot live next year today. You can only make today's decision. Present moment awareness is the antidote to the fear of judgment. If you are fully engaged in your task, there is no room for the ghosts of other people's opinions. Courage is found in the here and the now. Mastery of life is mastery of the moment. By bringing your full self to each interaction and each responsibility, you live with integrity. You stop negotiating your existence and start experiencing it. This is the ultimate freedom Adler offers us. Living for the now. Mastery is presence. Ultimately, Adlerian psychology leads to one final radical conclusion: the courage to be happy. Most people wait for happiness to happen to them. Adler suggests happiness is a choice we make in each moment. Happiness is not a result of your circumstances. It is a result of your contribution and your courage. It is the willingness to be seen as you are, to risk being disliked and to choose joy anyway. It is your greatest task. When you stop being a victim of your past and a slave to others' opinions, you find that happiness was always available. It was just buried under the weight of approval seeking. Dig it out, own it. It is your birthright. Before making an important decision, put it to the test. Ask, 1. Would I still choose this if nobody applauded? 2. Would I still avoid this if nobody criticized me? These questions expose the influence of approval. 3. Am I acting according to my values or managing someone else's reaction? 4. Which part is my responsibility? 5. Which part belongs to another? Use these as a compass for your integrity. Choose your own task. Take the 7-day courage challenge. Day 1. Notice approval seeking. Day 2. Separate tasks. Day 3. Stop over-explaining your choices. Day 4. Accept small disapproval by speaking your genuine truth. Build the habit. Day 5. Stop one comparison. Day 6. Contribute without recognition. Day 7. Choose. If approval disappeared, what would you choose? Examine the answer carefully. This is the blueprint for your liberation. Start today. Some claims in the courage to be disliked are provocative and not settled science. Past experiences and trauma can profoundly influence mental health. Trauma cannot always be overcome by a simple change of perspective. Relationships involve genuine obligations that cannot be dismissed by labeling them someone else's task. The book's value lies in the questions it forces us to confront, not in being a literal psychological law for every case. You will be misunderstood. Someone will disagree with your choices. If your objective is universal approval, your life becomes an endless negotiation. But freedom does not require rejecting others. It requires clarity of self and the courage to be who you are. Reject the cage of approval. Be you. The courage to be disliked is not the courage to become cold. It is the courage to remain connected without abandoning yourself. Listen to advice, respect others, but don't hand them the authority to decide who you become. What would you do differently if you stopped trying to impress everyone? Subscribe for more philosophical documentaries in our 50-book series, Wealth Entertainment 21, Live Deliberately, Be Free. We examine the strongest ideas and their limitations to help you live more deliberately. Join the community, subscribe, and hit the bell. We'll see you in the next documentary. Remember, your life is your task. Start leading it now. Until next time, stay courageous and stay free.